Or another way to put it, what is the ideal scenario that I can create in my life so that instead of chasing after these desires, those desires actually chase after me? If you're watching this video, then it's likely that there's some desire that you have that you want to manifest into your life. There's something, someone, some event that you want to see come about in your life. And maybe you're even frustrated that it's not here yet. But instead of focusing on what you desire, have you ever taken a step back and asked yourself, what does that desire actually want? Because when you do this, you'll find the secret to actually attracting all of those things that you want. The problem is, so few of us have ever viewed things in this way. We're so focused on what we want. We've never actually taken a moment to take that step back and think about, I know what I want, but what does that desire? What does that desire want? And once you know the answer, which I'm going to provide in this video, you can change the way you show up every moment, and you can change your life, and you can have a much better chance of actually attracting these things that you want, attracting these desires, rather than chasing after these desires. So stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to break it all down, and we're going to answer that question together, how you can become and embody what your desires desire, so that those desires, whatever you want to manifest, those things will then chase after you instead of you chasing after them. So to get started, let's talk about this, the mirror of reality. Reality is not responding to your desires or your wishes. It doesn't matter what you want, what you say you want, or even necessarily what you do. Reality responds to your frequency and what you are and the energy that you embody. And so a desire is not something that you chase. We've all had the experience of chasing after something, and it just moves further and further out of our reach. So desire is something that you align with. And when you embody the state of having that desire, it then can come to you effortlessly. But how many of us have actually thought about this question of, what does my desire actually desire? Or another way to put it, what is the ideal scenario that I can create in my life so that instead of chasing after these desires, those desires actually chase after me? And it eliminates all the work. You can just live your life, focus on what you need to focus on, and those things will effortlessly come to you. Doesn't that sound amazing? And I'm going to break it down and give you exact steps you can follow so that your desires will desire you. A helpful way to look at this is with this scenario. Think of yourself, no matter what you desire, no matter what you want, stop chasing and start broadcasting instead. And I want to give a shout out to Neuro Knowledge. I've talked about him here on my channel. He's an amazing creator here on YouTube, other platforms. Definitely check out his work. I even have a link to a book that he recently wrote below. He's fantastic in this world of manifestation. And I saw a recent video where he focused on this, and I wanted to do a deep dive because I've never heard someone explain this point in this way, and it's incredibly powerful. So I want to share it with all of you. And this idea of thinking about things from the point of view of your desire. I don't think many of us have actually taken the time to think about that. We're so focused on, our ego and what we want. We haven't necessarily taken the time to think about, what does our desire want? And it's very simple. Our desire wants a certain frequency. And so many of us are used to chasing after things. And of course, chasing will push things away. And wanting something also pushes things away, because when we want something, we acknowledge that it's not present. And so that neediness, that sort of needy energy of chasing and desiring, it expels what we want. And instead, what we need to focus on is broadcasting the signal of, we already have what we want. That's what is attractive to our desire. That confidence, that embodying, and that being in that state where these desires, these things we want to manifest, come to us naturally. That's what our desire wants. Because your desires are looking for that energetic match. Whatever you want to manifest, that desire that you have, those desires that you have, they're looking for a certain energy. They're looking for a certain frequency. And when you can tap into that frequency and embody it right now, then you'll find that things come to you. Your identity functions like a magnet. Think of it that way. Neville Goddard, who I talk about a lot, one of the many things he said was assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And that's tapping into what we're talking about here. You have to shift your self-concept to become the person who naturally receives and attracts what you want. Because that's what your desire desires. That's what your desire wants. We know what you want, that relationship, the car, the success, the money, romance, health, all these things. But what do those things want? What does success want? What does romance want? What does an amazing partner want? What does money want? That new car want? These things that we want, whether they're certain people or events, situations, whatever, those things will be attracted to a certain energy, a certain embodiment that every one of us can live from. So the secret is this: it's really simple, but yet really powerful. We have to learn to flip the script. You know what you want, whether that's money, a new car, success, etc. Instead of thinking about wanting that thing and coming at it from your point of view, come at it from the opposite point of view. If you want that new car, what does that new car want? If you want that success, what does that success want? If you want that promotion at work, what does that promotion at work want? And I can tell you all of these things, what they're desiring is a certain frequency, a certain embodiment of frequency and energy that every one of us is capable of being and showing up as. But it's all inverted. It's not about focusing on what you or I want. It's about focusing on what that thing wants. And it's a certain frequency. It's a certain level of vibration. It's sort of this energetic reciprocity. And so you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what aligns with you. And the more you can tap into that vibration and that frequency, the more these things will be attracted to you. You don't have to chase. So whatever it is that you desire, I want you to think about it from this point of view. Instead of thinking about what you want, think about it from your desires perspective. Take the point of view of that desire that you have. What does that new car want? What does that success want? What does that amazing romantic relationship want? Look at it from that perspective, and then you have the answer. You know what you have to do. You know the frequency that you have to embody to now attract that thing. Not chase after it, but attract. So you're not trying to convince anything or anyone to give something to you, because life's already prepared to give you what you want. You have to become the version of you who receives these things naturally and effortlessly. The version of you who is resonating at that same level, at that same frequency, to the extent that these things come to you naturally. So you don't have to make it happen, but you become the reason that these things happen, if that makes sense. So again, I wanted to make this video because I love this concept and this nuance that's here. And it can really help you, especially if you're maybe a little stuck or frustrated with not manifesting the things or the life that you want. Look at it from this perspective. Take this viewpoint, implement this fresh perspective, and look at things from a different angle, a different approach. And whatever it is that you want, the success, the money, the relationship, instead of focusing on you, focus on those things. What does the success want to manifest in your life? What does the relationship want? What does the money want? And look at it from that perspective, and then learn to embody that version of you. So I hope you found this helpful. If you'd love to join our growing community, there are links in the comment and description below to join my newsletter, join our community, and receive one of my free guided meditations. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.